Hey folks, have you ever heard the phrase, it's not real until it's real to you? Seems like an innocuous phrase there, doesn't it? Well, I'm constantly reminded of that phrase, especially when I'm going to share the subject that I'm talking about with you right now. This is a toughie.
Let's go!
And this is tough because, quite frankly, talking about things like racial bias in the appraisal field, while it's common and most people understand that it does happen, nobody really wants to talk about it, right? And I get it. It's a tough stop. It's a tough topic. Matter of fact, by many people would probably even advise me not to talk about it because it might affect my business, my appraisal business and whatnot. But it may not. Bottom line is it's still something that we need to talk about and we need to get a better understanding with. And here's the thing. There are a lot of people who watch my channel and interact with me that are not Black. I need you all to pay attention to this. And I need you all to pay attention to it because, quite frankly, as a Black guy in America, I already know what it's like to have a racially biased appraisal. It's happened to me on multiple occasions. I already know what it's like to walk down the street and have people make decisions about me that can affect my life directly just because of the color of my skin. I already know that. I'm not trying to put that on you, but the reality is that is my reality. And my reality is just as valid as anybody else's. That said, I'm not focusing on that today. I'm focusing on what's actually happening in today's world based on a lot of the activity that we've seen over the last year. And quite frankly, it's actually good. I'll give you an example. Just recently, probably within the last months or so, a couple in Marion City, California, settled a lawsuit against an appraiser who assessed their home for $995,000 in 2020. And then what the family did, because they knew that was bull, they whitewashed the house, meaning they took down everything in the house that suggested that Black people lived there, had their white neighbors come in, and the house was reappraised. It reappraised at $1.482 million within a couple of weeks. How can you not see that there's a problem with that? But here's the challenge with it. Did you know that not only did that appraiser think there wasn't a problem with it, that reviewer at the mortgage company didn't think it was a problem with it, nor did that reviewer's boss think that that was a problem. In fact, when the homeowners brought it to them, they did everything they could to squash it. Fortunately, this couple pushed forward and they actually, like I said, they settled the lawsuit. I don't know the details of the settlement or whatever, but they did settle the lawsuit. And from what I understand, the homeowners came out pretty okay, whatever that means. But should they have to do that to get a good valuation for their home? Probably not, right? But it's good that it happened. And it's good that it happened for this very reason, because now it's out in the public and we all get to talk about it. More importantly, appraisers that were in the business of having similar biases, now they know that if they keep that up, it's going to hit them in the pocketbook.
You're very bad at this game.
Because this appraiser got hit hard. So it can act as a deterrent to help prevent future issues like this, right? Just in 2021, HUD just released some statistics. And this was really cool because I thought this was amazing, actually. According to HUD, and I'm going to have to read this here, in 2021, under the Fair Housing Act, HUD received over 100 complaints, and they were currently in the process of investigating them. Now, why is that so big a deal? Because you're probably saying to yourself, of course they receive complaints. But what you may not know is that before a complaint gets to HUD in general, it's got to go through a lot, right? Before HUD decides to investigate anything, that sucker has been through the ringer.
Finally thought I had some free time tonight, you know?
Any possible way that thing could have been dismissed or settled or whatever beforehand, it was done. and you've got 100 complaints that made it to the level where people are like, man, something is clearly wrong here, and they're working to get it resolved. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. I'm all for it. I think we need more activities like that. We need more actions like that. But the only way we're going to do it is, again, if we talk about it. Not just talk about it with our friends, but talk about it to legislators. Talk about it to lawyers if necessary, right? Because we got to get this fixed. Because when the economy works, and when, in this case, home values and appraisals are good for everybody in the community, they're good for everybody in the community. It helps the entire community get raised, not just little pockets. So I come back to this, that initial phrase that I asked, is something real, or is it only real when it happens to you? To all my friends that don't look like me, but share a similar heart and sentimentality as I do, consider that and talk about it. Share your comments below, because I'd like to hear them. This is Jimmy Roberts, your local real estate professional. And I really want to hear what you have to say about this topic. See you in a few.